Good afternoon, and we are looking at a chart of a Bitcoin. It's a repository called MSTR. Here we are at 160,000, Bitcoin related MSTR, the largest depository that we have here, is now trading here at 160 at a multiple of 0.85 of its collateral value. What that means, it holds amount of Bitcoin, and the stock is now weighed only about 85% of that amount. It has taken a pre-fall in line with the Bitcoin, and it came down here in November, and since then it is forming a straight up a simple bottom here, curved like, and a base, which it hasn't come out here. The earnings are due on February again this month, next month, and the previous earnings were on October. So it is still in that position, sitting here at 160 about for about last 60 days here. Let's take a look at Bitcoin itself, BTC, and determine. This is the chart of Bitcoin daily chart, and you're looking at as it peaked out here in October at 126,000, dropped here on November 11th, made the low here about 84,000, tried to consolidate here, and then it had a breakout here as recently as January 14th, touched that 50, crossed the 50-day moving average, almost hit that 200-day moving average, but retreated again and sold down. Let's take a quicker, closer look at it. This is the closer look 1 hourly chart here, and it went up to 98,000, which was 200-day moving average. It was consolidating here in this area for some time, and then it made 98,000 and down here. Now it's trading here almost in a sideways fashion, and accordingly the chart is similar to MSTR. MSTR has a little bit different chart, but then this thing is now trading here in a base that has been forming since October, which is a solid base. Hopefully it will try to punt from here to the 200-day moving average, which is at 99,000. This is the technical analysis, chart analysis of MSTR and Bitcoin. So we have earnings coming up here, and we're going to look into it a little bit of the fundamentals on it. Here are some of the fundamentals. The price is 160, market cap is about 53 billion here, implied volatility, and Bitcoin reserves are now 63 million here, and USD reserve, and the debt is only on the company is about only 8.2 million and 8.2 billion, which is what it is. Enterprise value is now 67,000. Trading volumes about 771. Volatility is still high, which is 62%. Now, Bitcoin has a strategy now owns, which is the company MSTR. The stock is strategy is now holding 709,715 Bitcoins. They have increased their purchases recently, and Bitcoin years of dividend coverage is now about 72 years, which is, if Bitcoin did nothing for this company, it can pay the dividend for up to 72 years, which is a very strong balance sheet it has developed now. Annual dividends are given here, 876. So some of these dividends are on these strategy. For example, it has 3 different preferred stocks: STRD, STRK, and STRC. Let's take one of them and take a look at it. This is the information. It's trading at 99.71, and it has a market cap of $33 billion. It is a very good chart. It is preferred stock. It pays dividends. Bitcoin correlation is there. current dividend yield is 11%. So if you own this stock, which is it trades like in stock, and you get paid a dividend from it. So this is how it is. Bitcoin is financed, and there are all three of them here, but we're not going to get into it. Let's take a look at the purchases that have been made here. This is the schedule of purchases that strategy has done as of January 20th, which is only 2 days ago. They bought 22,000 here, average Bitcoin at a cost of 95,000. And on January 12th, they have bought 13,000, January 5th. So they have been accumulating this thing steadily from October, when the chart was all failing everywhere on the Bitcoin. They had been steadily accumulating and buying this Bitcoin. Now you wonder how this Bitcoin is bought. The way it is bought is through the common stock, which is sold, and the cash that is comes in here purchases that Bitcoin at a price when it is down, and it is leveraged. And then the company also issues the what we have here, issues the preferreds, which is called preferred, and this is the preferred which starts paying 11%. So they're paying 11% on the debt, and that also gives them cash. So it is financed in such a way through the open ATM machine, which is the common stock, and then the preferred. But they pay the preferred debt, which is only about 8 point some billion, which is a very insignificant amount for the company, is still in a very good shape. And this is the fundamentals that I wanted to cover. And we're going to now look into MSTY. Here is the chart for MSTY. And if you look at it, it has a steady decline in back in December, as you know from the last videos, that it did a 5:1 split. That means for if you own 100 shares, now you would owe 25 shares, and that boosted the price on it from $7 or $8 to $40. And since then, it has been trading in this range here, which is approximately as well as a flat bottom here. So let's take a look at it, a closer look at 1 hourly chart. And it is paying dividends, 41 cents, 33 cents, 37 cents, 51 cents. The dividend has not dropped. It has completely come in exactly at almost exactly as it was before the split. And this is the bottom that it is forming here at $30. And if it stays here, technical analysis, because this is technical analysis, not a fundamental analysis, um, it has been beaten down here accordingly as the MSTR stock dropped and consolidated here. Any uptick in the Bitcoin results in the uptick in the MSTR as well as in MSTY on a daily basis as well. So if Bitcoin is, the charts are looking similar, all these three charts are almost similar. They're all in the downwards here, but this is the main asset that Bitcoin starts pumping up here, which they did at 98,000. MSTR also went up, as well as MSTY. So they are all correlated here. What we are going to infer from this is that if this is a technical pattern here, which is a base, and the longer it consolidated, the harder the base is. It hasn't gone below 85,000 recently, but it has always the potential to make it up here to the higher end. And Bitcoin also has another ETF, BTC-I, which is widely covered. It has a similar chart if you look at it, a W-like pattern here. It has been gapping down and is forming a base here at between 42 and 47 range. BTC-I is a NEOS Bitcoin ETF directly correlated to the Bitcoin, writes calls on the futures, and that's how they make the money. Let's get into MSTY again. And this pattern, it would result into some kind of a bullish move on if the Bitcoin goes up. And this Bitcoin I would not be satisfied till it goes up here and covers that 50-day moving average at 36. Till then, we are still in the holding pattern and receiving dividends. It should not break down below 830. If it starts going below 30, then you're losing more NAV value. There is a deterioration in NAV value, but not as much as it is a deterioration in the stock price of MSTR and the Bitcoin. So that is where you have to remember that this is significantly driven by the Bitcoin prices in the market. So that is all for today. If you like this comment, if you like this content, feel free to subscribe, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the other side next video.